So let's start again. What we want to do is right now we want to write a test case for the task service, and the idea is that we will write the test cases just for uh, I mean we will just write the test cases for the scenario what it returns. Okay, so this is something that we will do, and how it will get to know. Let's just write Spring Boot test and Spring Boot test we want to add, and mock pin would be mock pin would be because it talk with the task repository, so that would be mock pin task repository. And the second thing that needs to be do is something is called we will inject mocks into the this thing, inject mocks into the task service. Okay, so I think this is a pretty much enough. Let's just write the first test. We will just write down and copy paste it to the all the other places. Public void, and what is the first test is called a get all task. Get all task. Let's say it's called positive flow. And so Mockito dot when we're going to call task service task repository dot find all. What is the method that actually we call here? That is called find all. So okay, find all we call, then we're going to return what we're going to return. Let's just copy paste something that we have written in the task controller. So let's say copy this thing. So let's just return task. Okay, and there is a little bit reason it will not work. The reason is because it is going to return a task. It should return the entity, and and entity is right here. So let's see how we are adding the import class com.example.setup.project. Okay, so this is our reference. So uh, it should be task. Let's use the var is more more work fine. And so this should work as a task, and it would run fine. It's okay. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to call the service tasks service dot uh, get all task dot it should return. Let's just take the response from here. Wow, response. So it will return anything. I just want to make sure that whatever it is there, it should not be null. Okay, this is simple thing. uh, so for these things we have to use assertions from JUnit API. Assertions are not null, and let's say this is the thing. Let's just try to write. Let's just run these test cases and say if it run fines or not. So it is saying that task repository is null. Okay, because this the task repository is null, and what we did with task repository was null. It is saying that find all because this task repository is null, and due to this reason it has received the null pointer exception. We just use the mock pin, but somehow it is not working. Mock pin is not working. So what we did here, actually we replaced the mock pin with the mock, because mock is used with the repository. It is used with classes and interfaces, and whereas the mock pin is specific to the Spring Boot. So when we changed it with the mock, so the test has ran fine. You can actually see it. and on the basis of these things we are going to replicate it on the other. Okay, we can actually compare it. Rest dot contains means is empty. Let's just say it's not null. That is enough. So let's just copy it and let's just paste it down the line. So what are the other things that we want to do is get by title. Okay, and the next thing that we want to do, get by status. Okay, so both returns list to task details, that remain the same. Only thing that we need to change is called the method find by it should be title, and I should pass anything, so I'm going to pass mojito.any string. Okay, so that should work, and it should return this thing, and that would run fine. Here I also need to change find, means what should be the name, get by title. Okay, and let's just call it with the res, means it's nothing, and this should be get by status, and let's just call with the status false. Let's say it's a true because we have actually put the value true, and it should be find by status should be mojito dots any boolean, and it should work fine. So that is done, that is done, that is done, that is done. So what else we need to write? So these three methods are covered. We need to write persist task, find by id, create task, and update task, and delete task. So let's just cover delete task first on the other two method. Delete task positive flow. Okay, so this thing is there, task is there, means we don't need to do anything, it will simply delete it. But we just need to string str is equal to like object deleted. So that is enough for it, and str is enough. So delete by, or it should delete by id, and id could be any long. Okay, and the reason is that it does not return anything, so mojito dot do nothing when. So this a little bit different. Mojito dot do nothing. So do nothing that. Okay, so mojito dot do nothing, and it should be class. So why it is saying that mojito dot do nothing. So this as mojito dot do nothing dot when, and delete by id should not return anything. Okay, so let's just remove this thing. By the way, mojito dot get delete task, and what should it take? It should take, let's say, 1, and 1L means it should take a long, and response is there, assertion dot not null. So I think we should compare it with response dot get. We can actually compare it with not null as well. There is no other thing, because you understand, if you try to look at the delete task, it return a string, so I want that string to be not null. That is it. uh, so delete task positive flow. The next thing is called get task, so just copy this thing and just copy paste this thing. Okay, get task positive flow Mockito dot get Mockito dot get find by id, because it calls find by id. Find by id, and id could be anything, so it just get task, and I just want it to be that that thing is there. So these two methods are written down. The next, these two things, these are four things that I have, for which I have to write a test cases. Mockito.find by id. So we can I'm just skipping these test cases for this. Let's just try to persist. For persist, we actually I want to give it a favor and I want to write a task. First of all, let's run all the test cases that we have written so far and see if it is working fine or not. We just need to remove any redundant references. So it is not running fine. So what is the reason it is not running fine? Get task positive flow. If you try to look at, it is saying, oh, it is not do nothing. I just copy pasted it. Mockito dot when find by id call, then it returns an instance. Then it returns an instance. So we need to mention that instance dot, then return what should it return? Let's say let's just have var entity. Let's just have a because it returned an entity, so let's just have a very empty object task. Okay, so entity is there. So why it is saying, I understand that it should be an optional. Yes, it's an optional, so we can actually wrap. It is giving a suggestion, so we can use optional dot of and just run it. Let's just do it again. I think that's it.